Hello everyone. So my name is Alexandre Regina, and today I will make a presentation about studies in France, as I am the head of Campus France Kenya, which is the public agency for the promotion of studies in France. So as you can see, my email address is at the bottom right of this presentation. So if you have any questions after this presentation, you can of course send me an email, and I will engage in a conversation with you to guide you through your orientation, and I will share more information about studies in France. So in this presentation, I will talk about the Campus France Agency and our actions in Kenya. Then I will talk about studies in France and scholarship programs. Then I will give you some arguments on why choose France for your higher education. And then I will talk about the application process, what you can do in France as an international student, and what you can do after your studies in France. So Campus France is the public agency for the promotion of studies in France. The headquarters are in Paris, and we have offices all around the world. So me, I am managing the office in Kenya, and we have four missions. So promoting French higher education, facilitating the mobility of Kenyan students and researchers, assisting students willing to study in France and organizing pre-departure preparations, and coordinating the French alumni network in Kenya. Then about the higher education system in France. So we have bachelors, which are done in 3 years. We also have master's degrees done in 2 years. And we also have PhD programs, which takes from 3 to 6 years. Uh, then an important information of my presentation is about the language of instruction. So you do not need to speak French to study in France, as we have programs fully taught in English at bachelor and master level. Of course, you can also do your PhD fully in English, but if you want to study a program taught in French, then you need the B2 level, so the DELF B2 certificate. And of course, we have more programs taught in French than in English. So there are different advantages in being proficient in French before applying for studies in France, because it will give you more choices of programs, especially in public university. You will also be able to have a better integration in France, as you will be able to engage in French with the French population. And knowing French language will also be a bonus for your resume, as it will open more career opportunities for you. Then in France, we have different higher education institutions. So, of course, we have public universities. They are state funded, and you can find them in many different cities of France. We have more than 75 public universities, and they give nationally recognized degrees, and they cover all fields of studies and research, which means that you can basically study any field of study in any public university of France. But at bachelor level, their programs are mostly taught in French, so you will need to have the B2 level. But at master level, they have a lot of programs taught in English. So if you don't speak French, you can apply for a program in a public university at master level. Then we also have grandes écoles, which means great schools. And so this is a very specific French system of schools which can be public or private. And their characteristic is that they are very selective. So they are some of our best schools, and they mostly have programs in business and management, engineering, political sciences, and international relations. So these grandes écoles are, of course, recognized by the French state, but they are also, most of them, internationally recognized. They have a lot of offers of programs taught in English at bachelor and master level, and the tuition fees can be higher than in public universities. Then we also have specialized schools. So these schools are private schools, and they offer programs in specific sectors. They have specific admission procedures, and the issue with the private school is that the degree may or may not be recognized by the state, which means that you need to be careful when you apply to a private school. And this is also the role of Campus France Kenya to guide you on this. So if you have any doubt about the quality of a private school, just send me an email and I will check with you, and I will tell you if you should apply or not. Of course, most of our private schools are legitimate and they give degrees which are recognized, but still you need to be aware of this issue and you need to check before applying. Then we also have schools of art design or architecture. So they are public schools managed by the Ministry of Culture, and they have selective and specific admission procedure. The degrees are done in 3 to 5 years. And as you know, France is recognized for its art and culture, so we offer a lot of good quality programs in this field of study. Then, if you want to do a PhD in France, this is also possible, but the requirement is, of course, to have a master degree and to have a thesis director, so a thesis supervisor. So there are two ways of application. If you study exact sciences like mathematics, chemistry, physics, biology, these kind of things, there is a website with a lot of offers of PhD for international students. So if you want to apply to a PhD in this field of research, you need to go on the website and to apply directly to the subjects posted by the researchers. However, if you study social sciences and humanities, you can also do a PhD in France, but we don't have a similar website with PhD offers, which means that you first need to create your subject and then submit it to a French researcher who will become your thesis supervisor. So you need to, find the contact of a researcher in France who is specialized in your field of research and submit your thesis subject to him. And if he agrees to supervise your PhD, then the next step for you will be to find the fundings for your PhD. And the researcher will be able to help you to find maybe scholarships or funding through the doctoral school or the university. And Campus France Kenya can also deliver documents about specific fields of research in France. So again, if you have any questions about that, you can also send me an email. Then about the tuition fees in France, so the tuition fees will depend on where you study. If you study in a public universities, at bachelor level, it will be less than 3,000 euros per year, and at master level, it will be less than 4,000 euros per year. So as you can see, it is less expensive than in the US, in the UK, Canada, Australia, and this is because the state cover for a part of the tuition fees, even for international students. Then at PhD level, you only pay 380 euros per year, because when you do a PhD in France, you are being paid during your PhD, which is very convenient, but this is also an issue with doing a PhD in France because you need to find the fundings, as I was explaining earlier. So this is for public universities, and then if you study in a private school, it will be of course more expensive, and it will vary from 3,000 euros per year to 25,000 euros per year. Then we also have scholarship opportunities. So at bachelor level, you can check the website Campus Bourse, which lists all the scholarships available for foreign students in France. At bachelor level, it will be very difficult to find fully funded scholarship, and you will mostly find a reduction of tuition fees in private schools. However, at master level, you have different fully funded scholarship opportunities, which are very interesting. The first one is the Erasmus Mundus Joint Masters programs. So these programs are organized by the European Commission, and basically the idea is that the masters are organized by different European universities. So for example, if you enroll in an Erasmus Mundus master, you will do the first year of master in a French university and the second year of master in another European university, maybe in Germany, in Italy, Poland, any other country of the European Union. And when you apply to these masters, the selection committee, they select the best applicants and they give them full scholarships. So of course, this is very selective and there are not a huge amount of scholarships, but these are very interesting opportunities. And in 2025, 3 Kenyan students managed to go to France with scholarships of Erasmus Mundus master's programs. Then you also have Sciences Po. So Sciences Po is the schools of political sciences, international relations, and humanities in France. It is the second best schools of political science in the world, just behind Harvard, and they have a scholarship program named the MasterCard Foundation Scholars Programs, which allows a student to get a full scholarship to do a master degree at Sciences Po. So this scholarship is reserved for African students from universities which have partnerships with Sciences Po. So you can contact me to check if your university has a partnership with Sciences Po and if you are eligible to apply. And I will share with you all the information on this program. Sciences Po also have a representative in Nairobi who covers East Africa. So if you would like to get more information about Sciences Po, you can also contact me and I will share the contact of Mrs. Cynthia Isimbi, the representative, with you. Then the last very interesting offer of full scholarship is the Eiffel Excellence Program Scholarship, which is funded by the French Ministry of Higher Education. And to apply to this scholarship program, you first have to identify a master program or a PhD program in which you are interested in, offered by a French university. And then you have directly to contact the university to check with them if they have an Eiffel scholarship offer. And if so, they will tell you how to apply to the scholarship program. Then to give you some arguments on why choose France for your higher education. So firstly, we have world-class education, which is recognized internationally and which will open a lot of career opportunities for you. Then we also have high-level research with high-quality infrastructures and laboratories. So if you want to do a PhD or research in France, it can be a very interesting opportunity for your career. Then, as I was saying, we have attractive tuition fees with high quality education at lower fees than in other countries of the Western world. Then you can also study in English in France, which is a very nice opportunity if you do not speak French. But if you study in France and that you stay 1, 2, 3 years, I hope that you will take the opportunity and the time to learn French language, which will then be an added bonus for your resume and which will open a lot of career opportunities for you. And then, of course, if you go to France, you will be able to experiment the French way of life and our culture and heritage sites. And you will also be able to study and maybe to work in one of the world's top economic powers. About the application process, so it will depend on where you apply. If you apply to a public university, you have to apply through a platform called Études en France, where you create an account, you upload some personal information like the copy of your passport, your resume, your grade transcripts and diplomas. Then you select the degree and the programs to which you want to apply to, and you submit your application. I am the manager of this website for Kenya, so I will review your application. If there is anything incomplete, you will receive a message to ask you to complete your profile, and then there will be an interview with Campus France Kenya to talk about your application and your study project, and then your applications will be sent to the French universities. The fees for the procedure are 7,999 Kenyan shillings. You pay them just before the interview with Campus France Kenya. And through this procedure, you can apply up to 7 different programs in France. And in 2025, 48% of the Kenyan students who applied through Études en France got an admission. So this is a very high rate of admission. And then if you don't apply to a public university but to a private school, you apply directly to the school, checking on their website the application modalities. Campus France Kenya has also made a guide on how to make a strong application for studies in France. So this guide is available on our website in the page Study in France, and it gives you some advices on how to make a good CV, how to write an excellent cover letter, and it can really help you for your application and it can increase your chances of admission. So do not hesitate to check our website to get access to this guide. Then in France, during your studies as an international student, you can benefit from different opportunities. So you can get discounts for cultural places and public transportation. You can also work during your studies up to 20 hours per week. You are eligible for financial housing assistance offered by the French government, which will help you to cover a part of your rent. And you can also register with French Social Security System, which is our public healthcare system, and which is free, of course. So this is an estimation of the students' living expenses in France with different parts, so accommodation, groceries, public transport, etc. And as you can see, there is a difference between Paris and the other regions of France because Paris is more expensive. So if you study in Paris, you should expect to spend between 1,000 and 1,200 euros per month for everything, for accommodation, groceries, transport, daily expenses, etc. And if you study outside of Paris, you should expect to spend between 800 and 1,000 euros per month. So this is less expensive, and of course, outside of Paris, you can also find very good universities. After your studies, you can work in France after graduation. Okay, so you can look for a job, and if you get a job, you can get a work permit. You can also apply for a temporary residency permit, which allows you to get time to look for a job, which means that after graduation, you have 12 months to find a job in France thanks to this non-renewable residency permit. Then you are also encouraged to join alumni associations. So there is the France Alumni Network, which is managed by the French government, and in Kenya the platform is managed by me. And there is also the AFRAKEN, which is the Association of French Alumni in Kenya. So this is a local association with a board of Kenyan people who have studied in France, and they are represent a nice community of people who share job opportunities and make networking events. So this is all for my presentation. If you have any question, you can write to me at the email address that you see at the bottom right of this presentation. And you can also find the Campus France Kenya office on the first floor of the Alliance Française de Nairobi, located inside the CBD of Nairobi. You can also contact us through social media, especially Facebook and Instagram. And I hope that you have enjoyed this presentation. So I am available if you have any question, and I thank you very much for your attention. And I hope to have the opportunity to engage with you later to talk about your study project in France. Thank you very much.